This year really feels like a moment in my business where I have never been achieving and doing more, but at the same time, I'm working less hours than ever and the business feels easy. I am a big fan of a freedom-based business model, someone who has been through burnout before, someone who has had many evolutions as a social media manager, a strategist, a coach, a creator. Many of those evolutions you have witnessed on this YouTube channel. And one of the most common questions I get is, Alan, how do you do it all? Those words do feel a little bit lame coming out of my mouth though. So in this vlog, I am going to endeavor to answer that question as you spend the week with me, and I give you some insights into my work routines, my daily routines, how I stay organized, how I manage multiple projects, and how I avoid burnout while building my freedom-based business. In case you're new around here, hi, hello, my name is Ellen. I started posting videos on this YouTube channel with my sister over 10 years ago. Yes, I'm showing my age. And I was basically a girl who loved all things content creation and hustled her way into making a career and a business out of that. 5 years ago, I went full-time working for myself and running a boutique digital marketing agency. I also own my own content studio. I've published a book. I do coaching, online courses. I do many things. My favorite word is multiple revenue streams, baby. And if this resonates with you, I'm excited to bring you along with my week. So it's Tuesday now. I didn't vlog anything on Monday. Mondays tend to be very much like the planning days, getting me ready for the week ahead. Sometimes if I have like a specific video project that I'm working on or client videos, I will schedule that in to do on Monday because I like the clean slate energy of a Monday. I also had a couple of coaching calls yesterday and I had one this morning as well. Yesterday's were group coaching calls and coaching calls for my program, the Dishing Up Digital School, and today was for the new mastermind that I'm putting together. I had a one-on-one intensive with one of the students who's just joined. The call today went so well. It's the first time running a mastermind like this, and not gonna lie, I was feeling a little bit nervous. It's been a little while since I launched like a new program or a new coaching product, and it went so well. Honestly, I got off the call and I was like feeling a touch emotional. I was like, oh my God, I've got tears in my eyes because that was just so transformational. And like, I'm so excited to be working with this particular student for the next 6 months. So we made some exciting plans and had some really big breakthroughs around burnout in her business, current clients that she's like undercharging with, clients that just need to go and she's tried to enforce boundaries with, and they're just not meeting her at the table. So yeah, really big transformations happening in that call, and it just gets me excited. However, it was a 90-minute call, which is quite intense, first thing in the morning, 7:30. So I've now made myself a little hot chocolate and I'm gonna head to the gym to digest and kind of have some me time. I'm going to let you in on one of my productivity secrets and how I get so much done in my business. And that is because I work in seasons, or some people might call it sprints. That might be triggering for anyone that works in a corporate setting with an agile structure. I have seasons in my business, which means I'll have a month or a period of weeks where I am working on back-end stuff in my business, when I'm posting less, when I'm doing a little less marketing and like actively showing up in my business. Like I'm working in the back end and it's a slower period of time, or maybe I'm taking rest or a holiday, or I'm not working as much in my business. Then I'll have seasons where I am showing up every day. I'm doing daily posting challenges. I'm posting super consistently everywhere. I'm making a load of content, or I'm going through like a launch for one of my programs or my offers, a sale. Someone might typically look at like Black Friday season as like a busy season. The last couple of weeks, I have definitely been in a slower season. By the way, if you can see any like white flecks in my hair, I promise it's not dandruff, it's like clay from my facial. The last couple of weeks I've been in that slower season. I have been busy working on some AI building in the back end of my course. I have been planning and plotting a huge 3-day free summit that I'm hosting for social media managers. I've also been completely rebranding my podcast and batch recording for that. And then a few other projects like in new things and funnel building and things that I've been testing out. And I've actually been struggling a lot with my confidence in the last couple of weeks, even getting to being like a little bit of a depresso espresso, sometimes I refer to lovingly to myself. And I think that sometimes comes when I have these back end slower months and I'm working on new things in my business, I'm working on things that can be quite challenging or out of my comfort zone. And I think that just like naturally happens. And I want to mention that because the reason I get a lot done in my business is often because I can keep going despite not feeling 100% confident. I always just keep persevering and I keep aligned with my goals. And I think it's a big misconception that people believe when you've run a business for a good couple of years, in my case 5 years, that you're like so confident in everything that you do and everything you launch. And that's definitely not the case for me.
Actually, no, that's not the truth, Ellen.
I feel a bit nervous relaunching my podcast, even though I've literally uploaded like 180 episodes before, which is a bit silly. I have been dealing with some stuff with the content studio, my content studio, Mackenzie Studios, behind the scenes, which has been tricky to navigate and challenging for my confidence. There's just been a lot happening, and I'm really proud of myself of continuing to show up. And I think there's such a balance here. Obviously today I've been to the gym, I've had my facial. I'm always giving myself lots of time for rest when I'm going through periods like in my business, or I'm always aware of my mental well-being, because if I'm not prioritizing that, if I'm not looking after that, my whole business is going to crumble. So it is a priority, but I also think there's an element of like pushing through a little bit, or like, I don't even want to say pushing through because that feels like icky and gross, but like it is a resilience to keep going despite personal challenges, despite, sometimes a lack of confidence, and just remind yourself of your goals, what you're working towards, the bigger picture. And you'll get to see the kind of season change from like working in the back end and planning and plotting for the majority of this week. And then Friday is when like my next launch public like busy season begins with the relaunch of the podcast. Then the following week I'm going to be launching the 3-day summit, and then obviously promoting that quite heavily for 2 weeks, then holding the summit, and then I go back into a more quiet delivery season where I'm teaching to a live accelerator for the Dishing Up Digital School. So it's all warming up to a big couple of weeks. So I'm enjoying my free time, my me time. Although in saying that, I say I'm warming up to a big couple of weeks and your girl will still not be working beyond 40 hours. So that is just my approach to business, and I love it. It's 3:30 p.m. and guess who just finished everything on her to-do list? Well, not everything. I still have a set of stories that I need to post, but I will definitely be doing that on the sofa later in the evening. This is the power of taking strategic breaks and doing blocks of intense work. Like, you get so much done. Like, I have edited an entire podcast episode. I've written up a whole coaching plan for my student that I had a session with this morning. I have done a personal application and review for the Dishing Up Digital School, which will hopefully, fingers crossed, be turning into a nice little sale in the next 24 hours. I've also cleared one of my clients' inboxes and DMs and replied to all of those. And I've also put some of their content live. I also just filmed a little TikTok because someone had left me a question asking about my camera, and I was like, this is something easy that I can just smash out in 5 minutes and quickly get on TikTok. I'm feeling so fulfilled. I'm feeling ready for a productive week, but we'll see how the next few days go. I am going to head out for a walk now, and I need to redo my nails ahead of filming content tomorrow. My nails I do at home with my own gel manicure kit, and I love it, but it will take me like 3 hours to do a good job. So I'm going to pack myself up. I think I'm going to watch Legally Blonde. I even have some leftover wine from the weekend, and it's going to be a lovely evening. Also, Ali is away for work, so I'm just fully embracing my like single girl era, which actually I need to put my engagement ring on back on after going to the gym. If I'm feeling in the mood, I might do a little bit of my content creation that I have planned for tomorrow to get a little bit of a jump start, but I don't have to do that. And that is the beautiful thing about having productive blocks of work, creating realistic to-do lists that aren't overwhelming, and not trying to do everything at once. I was about to say good morning, but it's actually 1 o'clock already. Hello, I'm in the studio. I've been here this morning filming a YouTube video, and I'm looking slightly disheveled now because I just squeezed in a quick Pilates class, which killed me. I don't know if it was the time of day, like usually I do a morning Pilates, but I missed my class yesterday because I had my coaching call, and this was like an 11 or 12 o'clock class technically. And I don't think that times well with like when I eat. Like I'm the kind of person that needs fuel to work out. So I felt very off and very dizzy and a little bit pathetic, to be honest. In my class, I couldn't do half the moves. So I ran out of there and retreated back to the studio. I've just been tidying up from my filming because I just like dumped everything and left it here. I also just filmed a video all about my content creation workflow and how I stay organized and consistent. So if you want to watch that, I'll link it up on a card above. This is one of my other hacks when it comes to working less but still hitting all of your goals when it comes to running a business and content creation. Documentation is the best thing to do for your content creation. So I have just filmed a YouTube video about how I make content. So I'm doing something productive that I need to do for my business. And then I've also made a YouTube video about it. You don't need to be a social media manager to be using this documentation strategy or style. Like you see it all the time with even people like florists who document a day in their life, or they document how they put together a bouquet or how they get ready for a client who has a wedding. And I love this because I think as humans, we're intrinsically very nosy beings and we love to see what other people are doing with their day. But also it's such an easy gateway into content creation and being more consistent. I also think it's the one thing that AI can't do in this day and age of, ChatGPT being able to pump out content and captions and quick tips and hacks. What it can't do is like tell stories, and documenting your day is a great storytelling technique. Other things that are working beautifully in the background of my business. Number one, if you're new here, this is my content studio, which is like my second business. And I have primarily outsourced all of the work to do with the studio. And now when I come in here, it's just for filming my own videos. I do still do the social media for it though. So I filmed some videos for our Instagram for the studio to promote our sale that we're running. And we're having a pretty good month. We're on track to beat last month's sales for the studio, which is great. Speaking of sales, we just had a sign up come through for the Dishing Up Digital School. And this is what you need if you are a service provider, whether you're selling one-on-one services or digital products or courses. You need to have funnels working. This sale is someone that I have spent 15 minutes on, literally no more than that. They came through one of my funnels. They signed up for my free webinar. That webinar sold them my course and answered all of their questions. They then sent through an application. I reviewed that, did a personal video walkthrough of the course and just what I thought would be the best parts or elements of the course that would help them the most. That took me 15 minutes. An hour ago, the sale came through. I don't like to talk about passive revenue because, as we probably know by now, passive revenue is not that passive. It still takes work to like get people into the funnel. But the fact that I can make like a $2,000 sale with like someone just watching a webinar, 15 minutes work is pretty mind-blowing to me. So when you sign up for the Dishing Up Digital School, we also had a payment come through for a sponsored YouTube video that I did last month. Sometimes sponsorship payments, they don't do upfront and they can take a little bit of time to come through. So that's one thing to note. And then I had a very small, but still counts, an affiliate sale. So someone signed up for a piece of software that I recommended and it came through as a $10 commission. And you know what? I will happily take that $10 and be just as happy about that as the $2,000 sale, because those affiliate streams are like the most passive thing ever. Like all I'm doing is mentioning the software that I use and then I use a link and the customer doesn't pay anything more. If anything, a lot of my affiliate links come with like a personal discount from me, but I get like a very small commission. Like in this case, $10. It was like a $600, I think, purchase, and I've made $10 off that. So it's like very, very small, but it's such easy money. And those $10 add up to be a nice couple of $1,000s every year. These are the things that you need to be thinking about if you want to have a weekly routine like mine, where you're not working 80 hours a week. There's still so much white space in your calendar, so much freedom and flexibility. That happens because I have all of these things working in the background. So even though this morning I wasn't actively selling, I was prepping content and editing things and getting them ready to go up on my Instagram in the coming weeks, my funnels were working in the background. All right, now it's time to pack up. I'm gonna head to the post office because I'm pretty sure my wedding invites are ready to pick up. And I wanna pick up some flowers to potentially try out a different look that I'm doing for the wedding invites. I wanna do like a little dried flower under the wax seal. Very experimental, but I think we've done a lot of work today. I'm still not feeling 100% after that Pilates class, so it's probably a sign to just go home, have some couch time, have some food. Oh my gosh, that was a mission. It took me like 2 hours to like pick up all of the things that I needed and pick up the flowers. And then I got stuck in the line at the warehouse because I was trying to buy some like different twines and ribbons to test out on our invites. And I was literally in a line for 15 minutes. And I was like, what are you people doing here? Like, you should be at work. And then I'm like, I should also be at work and not shopping in the middle of the day. But, karma. I had some lunch, had a bit of a break, and I've just sat here for the last hour and a half going through emails, responding to questions from students. I put up a video for the studio Instagram account. I've been prepping a contract. Lots of just like little bitsy things, replying to client DMs, that kind of stuff. I always kind of try wrap out the last hour of the day, kind of ticking off all those small tasks that I've probably been avoiding all day. But I keep looking at my to-do list and I don't know what it is. I felt so good this morning. I've been feeling really good this week, but like I'm so triggered by my to-do list for tomorrow, for Thursday and Friday. My anxiety, I can feel it like simmering. And there's that part of me that wants to like, oh, I should just stay up late editing the podcast episodes today and then I'll be ahead of my work and won't have to do it tomorrow. But this is where I think it's really important to have good boundaries when you run your own business. And I'm not going to do that. I can sense that this anxiety is probably, if anything, a sign that I need to take a little bit of a step back. Like I had a pretty intense morning filming that massive YouTube video. You can see by this sunny spot, the sun is setting and I am going to force myself to stop working and go for a little bit of a walk in the sunshine and decompress. And then I'm going to come back and open my wedding invites, and that will be my reward. I'm a child who needs rewards. Oh my goodness, that sunshine was very deceptive because it was freezing outside, and I did my walk and then rushed home to have a shower to try and warm up. It's 6 o'clock. I've just been pottering around after my shower doing my skincare, made myself a little soda stream, and I think I'm going to park up on the couch for the rest of the evening and do a little bit of wedding planning. Another part of managing all of the things, life things, including business, like planning a wedding, is investing in systems, planners, things that can support you, just like I do when I'm planning my social content and I use my Rella scheduling system. Like I was going to implement this for my wedding. So what I actually did was I did some research on Etsy and TikTok and I found someone who sold this like wedding Bible, they called it, and it's basically this huge Excel spreadsheet. And I'm going to sit here and update some of this with our budget tracking in terms of deposits that we've now paid. This thing is the fanciest Google sheet I have ever seen in my life. All of the conditional formatting, all of the way that it like links together across multiple pages. You've got a page for your like overall budget, then like a budget tracker breaking down every single category of anything you could think of that you have to pay for a wedding. There's a lot on here and it is literally becoming my Bible for planning, especially because we are having a big party in New Zealand, a big party in South Africa, because if you don't know, that's where my partner Ali is from. And then we were having like a small ceremony with just 40 of our immediate family members and closest friends. So there's several events to organize as part of the wedding, which I'm, enjoying. Like I love party planning and this is exciting that I get to do like multiple parties, but it is tricky. Like wedding planning, I always thought I'd be so into it, but there's definitely an element of not stress but like pressure, and like my people pleasing tendencies are definitely coming out to play, and I find it very difficult managing like a lot of other people's expectations, and especially when you have family living in two different countries, like there's always going to be someone that you disappoint. So then I catch myself being like, oh, well, what's the decision that's going to make the most people happy? And then you're like, wait, no, this is my wedding. It should be the decision that makes me happy. So that's one thing that honestly has been the hardest part of wedding planning, the actual like finding vendors, putting together the mood boards and booking things in and scheduling out all the different events and things and places and locations. Like that is fun for me. Speaking of which, I'm going to clip you on there. And let's open these wedding invites. We designed our own wedding invites on my favorite place, Canva. And Canva actually has its own like printing facilities. It's in Australia, but they ship to New Zealand. And it was $30 to print these invites. I got a quote locally for a printer just around the corner from our house, and they quoted me $350. So I very quickly went back to Canva and was like, I'm gonna just print these here. So I've heard good things about their printing services. So I think fingers crossed the finish is nice. Oh my gosh. Wow, they're so glossy. Oh no, I've got like fingerprints all over it. I'm gonna have to like polish them before I put the invites in the envelope. Oh my gosh. I'll show you this side because this doesn't have any details on it. It's just a photo from our engagement and you can get an idea of like the gloss and the card. It's like a relatively thick card. And then I'll just put on here on the screen, I'll actually do like a little screenshot of the front side and then just like change the dates to a random date and venue so you don't get my QR code for my wedding and hack my wedding website or anything like that. Not that I really think I'm that famous, but privacy. But I want to show you guys what it looks like because I'm really chuffed with the design. I just saw a design on Pinterest that I really liked and I've just copied that. That is going to be tomorrow's afternoon craft project once I finish all of my work. So I'll catch you tomorrow. Wow, there's a beautiful irony in filming a vlog about organization and how to organize your week and do more work and then forgetting to finish the vlog. It has been like over a week and I don't know what happened. I had Thursday, which was just literally me editing and I was like, this is so boring, I'm not gonna vlog this, I'm just in my pajamas sitting at my desk all day. And then Thursday was the relaunch of my podcast. Friday was the relaunch of my podcast and I just completely forgot to pick up my camera. It went really well, really great response to the giveaway that I launched, the first few episodes that I dropped, some really lovely DMs and private messages around how much people just love the podcast and how much it's changed their lives, which by the way, side note, this is the beauty of having a podcast. It's not about the viral numbers. You're never going to have the same level of like organic reach on a podcast compared to like TikTok or YouTube, but the community is like next level and the level of connection with your audience. That was really rewarding to have some of those messages come through, but I forgot to film anything. So just use your imagination. I put up a lot of content. I sent a lot of messages. And then I finished the workday early. The podcast has been on a really good roll. I've been uploading weekly, but I'm not like holding myself to that. I'm like, you can have a week off if you need, Ellen. And I'm actually taking a pause this week because I am hosting a free 3-day summit. So if you are watching this like a day or two after posting the video, you can still join the last day or so of the summit. But I'm really excited about that and it's taking a lot of my time and energy. So I haven't actually done an episode this week. I think what I might do is take a recording from the summit, one of the workshops, and put that up on the podcast. But if you do happen to be free this week, come join. And if you've missed the first couple of days of the summit, there are replays, limited time replays available. So come say hello. I'd love to keep working with you and building your business. And I've hoped you've enjoyed this video. If you want more like vlogs, work with me style content like this, please let me know in the comments because they're quite fun to film. They're more challenging to film and more time consuming, but I feel like I can just chat and give you guys so much more value. So would love to hear from you in the comments. Make sure you're subscribed if you haven't already. Give this video a thumbs up and I'll catch you in the next one.